Welcome back for video 2. I'm so glad you decided to continue on with us. This video I know you're going to really enjoy. We're going to talk about how to find those music libraries that want to sign new producers, new musicians, new artists, bands just like you. They are certainly looking for submissions. It's not like in the record business where labels don't accept any unsolicited demos. Music libraries are in the business of accepting unsolicited demos. They need new music and new producers to come in and help fill their catalog so that they can serve their clients. Let's talk about how to find those companies, right? And you can do it right from where you are at home. No traveling required, no networking required, okay? You can do all of this stuff from your home because I did it all from my home. It's absolutely a beautiful thing. So let's talk about these companies, okay? So what they do is they're going to provide what we call as production music to music supervisors and editors of TV shows and movies, commercials, ads, all that kind of stuff, okay? We call it production music because this music needs to be useful and it needs to be, most importantly, as you see there, licensable, okay? So as I mentioned in the previous video, you are going to have to learn how to craft and structure your tracks in a manner that's going to be very useful for your clients, and your clients are going to be music libraries, okay? So they're going to need to get the right kind of music from you so that they can go ahead and serve that to the people that are creating the TV shows, movies, and commercials. So what they can do for you is they can get you access to many more content producers than you could on your own. A lot of producers think, well, why don't I just become the music library? I'll supply a bunch of music myself, or maybe from my friends and other producers that I know. I'll go out and find these people who create this content and supply them with our music. God bless you if you feel you have that kind of energy and time. It is a business in and of itself to be able to create a music library and then to serve the clients and to constantly be hustling for the new clients to try to bring on board and sign to your company, okay? It is a lot of work. And here's why I don't recommend doing that, because they're gonna basically be taking care of your organizing, pitching, and selling your music, trying to get it placed so that you can focus on what you do best, which is making music. And it's what you really wanna do anyways, right? I didn't get into this business because I wanted to have a bunch of administrative paperwork and cold calling and a whole bunch of that kind of stuff going on, okay? I just wanted to make music in my home studio and make a living by doing that. If you want to do what I've done and just basically be able to create music and let those people handle a lot of the boring work, then you want to follow the path that I'm giving you right now, which is to partner with music libraries directly. So they're usually going to handle the registrations of your songs, both with the Library of Congress and with the PROs, right? That's BMI, ASCAP, SESAC maybe, but mostly BMI and ASCAP. So they're going to take care of a lot of that paperwork for you as well. Now, it doesn't mean that you should just go to sleep at the wheel and just assume that everybody's looking out for your interests. You do need to do your due diligence and check up on your registrations, and we'll talk about how to do that later in this course. Now, you might be thinking, like, why are they doing all this work for me? Like, why would they be out there shuffling and hustling and trying to get my music placed, like out of the goodness of their heart? Is it like a charitable organization? No, as I talked about in the previous video, they have an incentive to do this, okay? They have a business. What they're gonna do is they're gonna take a portion of your royalties earned from the placements that they secure. So usually this is called the publisher share, okay? So what they're gonna do is they don't get rich unless you get rich, right? That's how the equation works here. So if they get your tracks placed, they're gonna take a cut of it. Right? Now, a lot of producers and musicians get freaked out by that because they're like, well, they shouldn't be earning any of my money because it's my music and I put on that time and effort to do it. Why are they making any money? What you need to understand about, it's not just the licensing industry, but just general good business practice is incentives, okay? If you're not providing incentives for people on your team, and your music libraries will be a part of your team, if you don't give them an incentive to go to work for you, why would they go out there and try to shop your music and get it placed? You want them actually to have a sort of stake in your music to make sure that they're going to be making money if they get you placements, okay? That ensures that you'll have like what I have right now, which is many libraries out there that are all, while I'm sleeping or while I'm making my own music, they're out there shopping my music, trying to get me new placements, trying to get me out there. Why? Because they make money when that happens, okay? So you need to get out of that mindset where you think, well, I need to keep 100% of everything. You can absolutely keep 100% of everything, but that 100% will probably be zero, okay? So you can keep 100% of zero if you want to, or you can become a team player and allow those that want to help you succeed in this industry, give them an incentive to want to do it, okay? How do you find these companies? How do you find the music libraries that want to sign producers, right? Very good question, very important question. I'm going to show you exactly how to find them right now. So one thing you can do is you can do just a basic Google search. You can look online. You can type in things like production music libraries, usually what they're called, or a TV film music library, etc. There are tons and tons of results, so you could spend a lot of time doing that though. But it certainly is a direct way to just start researching them and trying to find these companies. You can attend trade shows, networking events. ASCAP and BMI have theirs. PMA Music is actually the Production Music Association. It's basically an organization that's specifically meant for the TV film licensing business, production music essentially. So they have an annual get-together as well out in Los Angeles, so you can go attend that as well. But the problem with both of those, of course, as you can tell, is they require lots of time and money, traveling, hotels, renting a car, getting an Uber, and doing all the time the research, all these, there's hundreds and hundreds of companies out there that do this. So both of those require a lot of time, a lot of money, but I got something better for you, okay? I have a powerful and proven music library recommendation service that I've created for my own experience in this business. And it can basically save you time and money, and it'll show you exactly who to submit your tracks to, right? Save you all that time of doing all the Google search. Because even if you find all the companies with a Google search, how do you know which ones are legit? How do you know which ones aren't going to just sit on your music, right? Got to be careful about that stuff, because you could be partnering with the wrong company for years, realizing I haven't gotten any placements. Whoops. I get those stories more often than you think, and it's like a horror story when I hear about it. Somebody's been doing music licensing for 3 years and they haven't gotten one placement yet. It happens because they didn't do their research and they didn't partner with the right company. So be careful with who you submit your tracks to. So this library recommendation service absolutely can put you on that straight and narrow path to make sure you're partnering with legit, sort of proven and tested libraries that have been around for a while, have a track record of getting placements. And I have dozens of students that have secured their first licensing contracts with these companies. So it's proven. So I have success stories and testimonials from producers that are on their way to the races right now because of this service. So I'll share it all with you in day 5's video in this course. So you got to stick in here with me. You got to stay with me to the end of this course, and I'll tell you all about that service and whether or not you feel it would be very useful and helpful for you. And I can tell you, if you like saving time and money and you want to avoid making the mistake of sending music to the wrong companies, this is something you need to check out. Okay, so stay with me to the end of the course here. I don't know why that guy just disappeared. Okay, so how do you know which ones are going to be right for you? First of all, do not send a mass email to multiple companies. That's called spamming. So this is a big mistake that a lot of producers who just get into the business do. They do a search, they get a whole bunch of companies, they copy and paste all the emails, and then blap, they just spam all of their music to 50 different companies or even 10 different companies. You're spamming people when you do that, okay? And usually most of your emails are going to land in their spam folder, because a lot of these email servers can tell what's spam and what's a crafted specific email to one person, and you're not even going to be considered if you do that kind of a thing. Even if you get accepted, what happens when you have 10 different companies saying, sure, we'll work with you? Well, now you have to pick and choose. You certainly don't have the time to feed 10 different companies all of your music all the time, right? So now you're going to sort of burn bridges very quickly in this industry by the ones that you say, oh, sorry, I already committed to other companies. So you don't want to be burning bridges on day one of this industry. So you need to do it a little bit smarter than that, much smarter than that. You need to be selective and specific when you submit your music, because you need to build long-term personal relationships with maybe 2 to 3 legit music libraries. That is at least the strategy that I followed in my career. I worked with basically 2 to 3 at a time. That's all I ever did. Maybe one would go out of business or would get bought out by another company, so I'd have to maybe think about adding another one. But at the most, I had 2 or 3 companies that I was working with, and that kept me enough work and enough opportunities to build my full-time income. So you don't need a large number of companies to be working with, small. And that means you need to be personable with them. You need to have an interaction with them. Remember, this is a people business, okay? You cannot just be a 1 in 1,000 producers that submit to some of these cattle call companies, as I call them, okay? So some of these companies will say, join us, give us your membership fees, and you can submit to our licensing opportunities. What they don't tell you is your number 9,732 in their membership profile, okay? So that means that there's gonna be 10,000 other producers that are also submitting to the same opportunity. Well, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out what are the odds that you're gonna get that placement. Very low. Worst of all, that's not even the worst part. The worst part with that kind of a company or that kind of a situation is you're not building any relationships with the people you need to build relationships with, okay? Those companies are going to keep themselves as the middleman between you and the company, and you and the opportunity, or you and the music supervisor. You're never breaking through that barrier to become a person in their eyes, right? You're just a number. So I do not recommend you go this path if you want to do this full time. If you think maybe once in a while you'll get a placement here and there, okay, that can work for you. But again, I'm talking to you and I think you are more serious than that and you want to do this full time, all right? You want to start off probably making part-time money and then grow this into a full-time operation for yourself. If you want to do that, please avoid those kind of opportunities, those companies like that. Following this process that I'm telling you will help you avoid signing your music to libraries that will just sit on your music, won't really care about your career, won't really want to keep you with them. And it'll make sure that you're signing with the right companies that can get you those placements to build yourself up to that full-time status, okay? Now, how do you know if a company is legit or not, right? Let's talk about some of the signs you should be looking for. You want to look for the signs of legitimacy, which will include quality of the past placements. So most companies will tell you and show you on their site, here's some of the placements we've recently received. Reality TV shows, trailers, movies, documentaries, advertisements, commercials, right? You need to look at the quality of those. Are those national brands? Are those like really well known, sort of everybody knows who these brands are? Is it more local? Is it smaller? So you want to look at for quality. You want to look for like larger name brands. You look for, Coca-Cola or some big brand name like that, and you realize, wow, they're actually kind of in the majors here. They're doing some really big stuff. Quantity of the past placements. How much are they working, okay? If you only see a couple of really big placements, well, there's probably not a lot of work going through this library. So also the quantity is very important. Some libraries will show you a just list of reality shows that they work with, and that's a really great thing to work with. They might not all be huge reality shows that everybody works or that everybody knows, but if there's a large number of shows that they're supplying, there's a large number of placements to be had with them, okay? So that's something else you should be looking at. Do they get custom jobs? A lot of companies will offer what I call custom jobs, where their clients will come to them and say, hey, I have a Coca-Cola commercial. I need somebody to compose some music specifically for this 30-second piece of commercial that we have right here. And usually on their websites, they're going to tell you whether or not they offer custom music for anybody's needs. So you do want to look for those kind of opportunities, because those are the ones that can pay you ridiculous upfront fees. I mean, 5, 10, 20, 30, sometimes even $100,000 upfront, not including the back end royalties, okay? So those custom jobs are key. You want to make sure that the companies you're partnering with do offer those. How long have they been in business, right? Are they just a fly-by-night, just open up their shop last week? Have they been around for years and years and years? Usually you want to see that longevity to make sure that they have a good reputation. How large is their current catalog? How many tracks do they already have circulating out there, okay? What genres are they lacking that they need, okay? Maybe there's a certain genre that they have that they don't have a lot of, but you feel based on who their clients are and who they're serving that they actually could use a lot more of that in their catalog, and boom, that's how you get in with them, okay? What genres do they have that you could bring stronger tracks for? Let's say you're a rock producer. They have rock, but the rock they have is really low quality. Maybe a lot of it sounds dated. It's kind of from the 90s, and you can bring a more modern flair to it. And this can be for any genre, right? That's what you need to be looking for in terms of how do you get into these companies. Now, everything that you see on your screen right here is included in that music library recommendation service. I'll actually walk you through basically every single one of these steps, and I'll show you and tell you specifically, here's the style of music that I think would work best for this company. Here's the kind of placements they get. Here are their clients. Here's the kind of music that really does well with them. So I can basically take care of all of this for you with that library recommendation service, okay? So again, stay tuned. Video 5, we'll get to it, all right? Tomorrow's video, very, very important, okay? You're gonna wanna really stick around for this one. You probably need to know what kind of music gets the most placements, right? So you probably have incredible, awesome music now in whatever style or genre that you produce, but you need to make sure what kind of music gets the most placement. So within each genre, there are certain attributes and features of the tracks that get more placements than other ones, right? Do vocal music get placed more? Does background instrumental music gets placed more? Is it upbeat? Is it slower? What is the sort of structure of these tracks? So you need to learn this stuff to make sure that you're not submitting the wrong kind of music to the libraries, right? So just getting accepted by a library is awesome and incredibly important. It is going to be your first step to success in this business. But just getting accepted is not good enough. You do need to make sure you're submitting the right kind of music to your libraries so that your tracks don't just sit on their shelf, collect dust, nobody uses them. And why am I saying all this? Well, because I did that, all right? So when I first got started in this business, I submitted tons of music that has, to this day, been sitting on a shelf in a catalog somewhere and nobody's used it, okay? So I wasted a lot of time, effort, energy. Yeah, I was just dumb, naive, didn't know what I was doing. You don't have to do that, okay? I'm gonna save you all that headache. I'm gonna save you all that time and make sure from day one in this business, you make the right kind of music that flies off the shelf and can fly off the shelf multiple times, right? The same track can get placed in 25, 50 different TV shows simultaneously. Now that can happen and it will happen as long as you're creating licensable music that's useful for the companies that you partner with, okay? And as usual, hit me up with any questions you got. If you had any questions about this presentation or anything else, Jesse at syncmymusic.com. For those of you that are binge watchers, the link below, you can go right to video 3 right now. You can start learning about what kind of music gets the most placements if you'd like to. If not, as usual, tomorrow, 24 hours from now, you're gonna see the next video show up in your inbox. Check your spam folder if you don't see it, but be on the lookout for that. I will absolutely send you that link. And when you get that link, log in and watch that ASAP. So I hope you're still excited. I hope you feel that this could be an incredible opportunity for you to get your music placed in TV shows, movies, and commercials.